All right, welcome to your first tutorial video. So before I really get into the material here, I just want to start off by saying that my goal with the style of these videos is to shoot them as if I have you sitting right here next to me and I'm just showing you what to do on your own computer. I feel like that's the best way, is to keep it kind of informal, not super scripted or polished. We're just going to get down and dirty and just go right for the information. So that being said, our first video that we're going to talk about is your general screen setup. Okay, so the first thing you're going to notice is that I have the MetaTrader 4 terminal pulled up. Now, what I'm going to be talking about is general chart setup. This is how you want your charts structured so that you can trade effectively. Now, if you're using our TradingView version of ATS5, you will need to visit our TradingView tutorials to learn how to do your basic chart setup if you don't know how to do it already. But for right now, we're going to focus in on MetaTrader 4 because this is what is widely used by our user base. So we're going to start off by going up to this little window. And I also should say that if you have any windows here, it might be good just to delete everything. Let's just start with a clean canvas. So you're going to go up to this little button right here, this little red and green spotted button. You're going to click on that, and it's going to open what's called the Market Watch window. This basically lists out all the pairs, everything that you can trade on your specific broker connection. So once you have that up, real quick tip. If you want to make sure that you're displaying everything that can be traded, you could right click on any of these symbols and go to show all. You can make sure you do that, and then it will list, if it's not already listing, it'll list everything that's available to trade. So what we're going to do after that is you're going to go to Euro USD. We're just going to use this one as a starting point. We're going to find the Euro USD symbol in your market watch, and we're going to click and drag and drop that right here on the canvas. We have one chart. Now we're going to do it again. Okay, now that we have two charts, what we're going to do is we're going to go up and we're going to click this organize window or arrange window button. You're going to click on that, and it's going to put those two charts side by side, just like that. So I also want to mention right now that there's a lot of ways you could use ATS software, but the simplest way, especially if you're new to this methodology, is to only use it on two charts, and we're going to change those to two specific time frames as well. Don't overcomplicate things. Just start right here, two charts. So now that we have our two charts open, we're going to actually add the ATS software. Now you can only do this if you've already gone through the download process. So if you have not actually downloaded ATS software into your computer, go back to the installation modules and make sure that you get that done first. So providing that's already done, what you want to do is go up here to this little file folder icon, and you want to click on that, and it's going to open up the navigator window. When you have the navigator window open, you want to go down and you want to expand the indicator section. Now, if the installation all went correctly, you should be able to see ATS5 somewhere down in this list. So right here, here's my ATS5. What I'm going to do is simply I'm going to drag and drop it right on my charts. So it's going to open up this window here. One thing that you want to make sure is that you have the DLL imports allowed before you click OK. So make sure you do that, then hit OK, and then ATS should pop up just like that. I'm going to do the same thing on my other chart here. Click on that, allow DLL imports, hit OK. All right, so that is the base chart mapping software. It's already done, it's on there. We're going to make a few more little changes to the charts here. If you want to right click on the chart, we're going to go to properties, and we are going to make sure that we don't have a line graph showing. You want to make sure that says none. And then you also want to go under common here, and you want to show your ask line and make sure that's checked. And then we are good to go on that. One other thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that the chart shift is selected. That'll give you this little bit of space here. You could also adjust that space as you like, to whatever view you want. So I normally run mine about right there. And that's pretty much it. So this is now running the base chart mapping software. What we're going to do right now, if you don't already know how to do it, is we're going to quickly create a template. So if you right click on this chart and then you go down to templates right here, you can go to save templates. And you can see I already have a bunch of stuff here for my testing. But what we're going to do is we are going to name this template ATS version 5. Or just put V5. So we're going to go ahead and put that in, and we're going to save that. And that will save this exact layout as a template. You'll notice that we put the chart shift here. We made those adjustments to show the ask line. Now, I haven't done that to this chart over here. So I'm simply going to go over, I'm going to right click now. I'm going to go to templates. And I'm going to find that ATS V5 template right here. I'm going to click on that and see that it sets it up. It puts the chart shift. Everything I want on that chart, it adjusts to that exact format that I saved. So there we go. Now we are also going to load one more indicator on here, which is our sentiment indicator. You're going to find where it says ATS sentiment. You're going to go and you're going to drag and drop that typically on your first chart. We'll explain about that later when we talk about the sentiment. I'm going to drag and drop that. Again, you want to make sure that your DLL imports are allowed. Make sure that's all good to go and then hit OK. And then the sentiment indicator should pop up right there below. Now you could adjust this one as well to wherever you like, wherever you're comfortable. I usually run mine about right there. We're going to make another template right now. So go ahead and right click. We're going to go back to templates and we're going to save the template. And this one, you're going to name ATS V5 with sentiment. Hopefully I spelled that right. So ATS5 with sentiment, we're going to save that. And that way you have your two templates. You're going to have one that just has the base chart mapping software that you can apply to your higher time frames. And you're also now going to have one that populates with sentiment. That way you don't have to do this work again. So there you go. So now that we have the basics set up, we're going to pick your two time frames. Now, if you've been through Methodology Mastery and those other courses, there's an art to doing this, but I'm just going to show you real quick where to do it. In this case, we're going to be adjusting our entry time frame. You always want to run your entry time frame right here on the right, and I'm going to make that a 30 minute. So that's going to be my entry time frame right there, and I want to run the sentiment under my entry time frame just like that. And then what am I going to trade the 30-minute into? What am I going to use for my directional bias? In this case, I'm going to pick the daily chart. So that is going to be my setup. I'm going to use the daily chart to define my directional bias, which direction I should be trading, what cycle the market's in. I'm going to figure out all that over here, and then I'm actually going to get in and out of the market using my entry time frame, my lower time frame. So right now, this is the base chart setup you should have. Two time frames, no other indicators. Make sure you're not putting on your MACDs, your moving averages. It's time to leave that stuff behind, okay? You just want ATS software, the chart mapping, the sentiment, your two time frames, your lower time frame for entry, and your higher time frame for your directional bias. All right, we're almost there. You're almost ready to trade, but there's a few more little minor things we need to do to your screen to make sure you're ready. One of them is right here. If you see this little arrow up here in the corner, you want to go on your entry time frame. You want to click that drop down, and that'll bring down your buy and sell window. This is where you actually execute your trades to get in the market. Now, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of setting your lot size. This is where you actually set the size of your trade. You could go into our MetaTrader 4 tutorials to understand that more deeply if you don't understand already, but that is there. You want to make sure you understand that. This is where you buy and sell. The other thing that you're going to want to set up is your trading terminal right here. If you click on this little button right here, that'll bring up your account information. You want to make sure that that is right here on the trading tab down here in the bottom left corner. Make sure that's highlighted. It'll bring up what your trading balance is for your account, all that good stuff. And you will notice though that that has covered up these windows. So to quickly adjust that to bring the bottoms up on these, just go again and click the arrange icon and that'll tighten everything up so you got a nice clean view. Now, one final thing you could do if you want to, you don't have to, but it's a little bit of a quality of life feature, is that we got this little chain link down right here. You can see it's in gray. What we're going to do is we're going to link these two charts together. That way when you change symbols, they change together. Simple way to do this is just double click right here on the ATS candles. You double click on those, go to the inputs section of the indicator box here, and you're going to want to scroll down all the way to the bottom, and you'll see that there's chart symbol syncing right here. It says that it's active. That means it's turned on, but it's not on a group. So what you're going to do is you're going to open this box and pick which color group you want to do it, you want to link it to, and you could have a bunch of different charts in specific groups that you'd be changing. You're probably not going to use that advanced feature right now, so don't worry about it. Let's just make it green. So we'll go ahead and make that green. You'll notice that that one turns green. We're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to go down all the way to the bottom. We're going to pick green as well. And what that does is now these two charts are linked together. That way, if we want to change what we're looking at, let's go ahead and pick CAD yen. We could drag and drop and change this chart just like that. And both charts are going to change. And actually don't do that unless they're linked. And that's a unique feature that we've added to ATS5. Just again, one of those quality of life features. So that's it. If your screen looks like this, congratulations, you are ready to start looking at the market and potentially executing some trades. So that all being said, if you're good to go, you can move on to the next video.